Oops, screwed that up. Oh, without my tech team, I am lost. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Super excited to be here on a Friday during the start of the basketball season. Let's go. Who's got games tonight? Who's got games tomorrow? And let's get this season going. Greetings, everyone. Dave Craig jumping in from chilly Rochester, Minnesota. Wait a minute. Oh, 65 yesterday, 22 today. That is a dramatic drop off. I see Mark Asmussen says it was in the Bay Area this week and it was cold and rainy. Yeah, that was a blip. A blip, I tell you, a blip. We are back to cool and sunny weather here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Darwin Sonata jumping in from the Great Lakes State. Excellent. And Darwin, I am with you. It is Veterans Day. Let's acknowledge all who served in our armed forces and thank them for their service. Chris Janish, Sioux Falls. Chris, your videos will be featured prominently today. Jason Hayes in the house from Missouri. Been teaching mechanics clinics in my area all week. Teaching is exhausting. Tell me about it. It is exhausting. For one of the reasons is you're on and you're talking and presenting and your energy and whew, it'll wear you out. But that's what we need to do, Jason, to help other officials get better. And, appreciate it when others are helping us to get better. C. Leitner in the house. Greetings to you. Jim Best. Let's do this. 5 out of 5. We'll see. Phil Haddad from Pennsylvania. Mike, what's the weather in Anchorage? Or is it Anchorage? What's the weather in Alaska? Give us the lowdown so we can all feel better about the temperature where we are. Motown 302 is in the house from Delaware. Cognitive dissonance there. Motown, Delaware. MPOA officials is in the house. Excellent. Greetings. Oh, Dave, that's awesome. First JUCO game tomorrow. Is that first for you, like you just got picked up, or first of the season? We've had some junior college action around here for a couple of weeks as the season has gotten started. Jacob Krause in the house. No, Draymond Green is not getting traded. That is not a thing. The angst in Warriorville is tremendous. Break the team up. Trade the young guys. Oh, no perspective and appreciation of the people we have running the organization. Nathan, starting next Tuesday. Right, so we're at the cusp. Many basketball officials also work football, and if you are still officiating football at this point, you obviously have achieved a certain level as a playoff official or what have you, and so that's tremendous. State championship game next Thursday, Nathan, that is tremendous. Congratulations on that. And yeah, and then we have to make the transition, Phil Haddad, appreciate you there. Motown 302. All right, Draymond Green, Motown. All right, coming together. Dave, of the season. Excellent. Yeah, super exciting. Always, shaking off the rust, bringing in our new points of emphasis, new rules, etc., having that discipline. For me, early season is all about discipline, right? Early season, do I tend to have more of a reactive whistle than a decision-based whistle? Yeah. I mean, that's just the fact of life. Every single season, it happens. So I can deny that fact, or I could say I have to embrace that fact and be ready for that. And I can also move in my microphone here. Without my tech team who's in the other room, I'm lost. All right. Dr. Phil is in the house, so now we can proceed. Balmy. Mike's out there on the front lawn with his shirt off again. Mike Connor's in the house. Mike, where were you? I broke the Mike Connors rule when I did the NFHS Test 1. And in a couple of instances, I did not select all of the above per your guidance. And I got them wrong. 39 and 49. I got to go back and make a video to fix those. If you see a true statement. Oh, that's true. That's my answer. And Jason Hayes, excellent. Okay. All right. I am excited. I'm trying a couple of new things today on the show. Let me try something here real quick. Okay. All right. That's good to know. All right, we're trying a couple of new things. Bear with me, live stream viewers. We have a couple of bonus plays at the end that'll be exclusive for live stream viewers that will not make it into the edited version of the show. Let me see. I got to do all the things here. I'm a little behind the game today. I was not feeling well last night. The show was in peril. I said to myself, there's no way, the way I was feeling last night, that we're doing a show today. It's not going to happen. But got together with the tech team. They pumped me up. They said the show must go on. So here we are. We're making it happen. I feel much, much better. I want to have everything in order here. Whew. Let me see. Make sure all my graphics are working. Look at that. That is beautiful. Okay. Right. All right. Let's do it. Wait a minute. Zooch is in the house. Indeed. Veterans Day in America. Martin Tim jumping in. Lauren from Frozen, Boise. Yeah, we're probably going to be high 60s today here in the Bay Area. Joseph from up in Humboldt. Excellent. All right, Joseph, here's the deal. Freshman girls, you got to take it for what it is, man. You got to find where your game is at. But that is tremendous that you have your first game. Super exciting. As always, keep us posted. Aaron Bender from Wisconsin. Oh, Wisconsin may be dominating the chat. Where's Michigan? Where's Chicagoland? They are absence. Yep. Tech team is being well taken care of. And snowy Colorado. Wow. We have no idea here in the Bay Area, weather-wise, what's going on. Just none. We walk out every morning, it's sunny, except, Mark, when you were here for a little rainy spritz. But that was great for us. Of course, California, drought conditions, etc. But with that being said, we are going to move into the show today. Okay, let's see if I can get this right. Well, here we are again. Why are we here? We're here to look at plays. Let's go. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of 5 Play Friday, the show where we take a look at plays, analyze all of the things so that we can get better as basketball officials. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with A Better Official and thebetterofficial.com. We craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. We will waste no time today. Let's get started with play number 1. All right, a simple block charge play to get us started. What do you have on this play? Block, charge. This is obviously the team's best player. This is obviously her 5th foul. This is obviously late in the game. Score is close. Does the correct official make the correct call on this play? Put your verdict in the comments below. All right, we're moving on. Play number 2. All right, transition, steal, both teams in the bonus, right? What happens next on a play like this? We have to be aware. We have to identify these plays for what they are. What do we have on this play? What are the things, what are the factors that we're going to need to bring to the table in adjudicating a play like this, right? We have a defender who deflects the ball, and subsequently, as they attempt to go to the other end and make a layup, they are tripped from behind by a falling number 15 white on this play, right? It's obviously a foul. Official puts a whistle on the play, etc. The key takeaway from a play like this is identifying what kind of foul it is, right? Identifying them every single time so that when we are in a bonus situation, we do not make a mistake here. Right? So let's look at the play for what it is. Let me do this. No. Tech team has me working. Right? We have a deflection. At this point, do we have team control by white still? Right? Team control by white in the front court. Ball is deflected. Ball gets loose. Does the blue player gain control at this point? No. No, they do not, right? Which simply identifies this for what it is. This is a team control foul by rule. If we were in a bonus situation, we would not be shooting free throws. We may be 30 seconds into the game when this play occurs, but identifying these plays for what they are, team control foul, will prevent later in the game, when the same situation occurs in a bonus situation, everybody in the game is going to the end to shoot free throws. We have to recognize what these plays are and put whistles on plays and accurately report them in each and every circumstance so that when the bonus is in effect and the game wants to shoot free throws, we can be the one to say no change in team control foul, no free throws would be awarded, right? Again, the batting of the ball does not. This action here does not. Dribbling is an act of a player in control, dribbling the basketball, right? So it's really important to identify these plays for what they are so that we can better adjudicate them. Thanks to Jacob Krause for this clip. It's a fantastic clip. And of course, we can look at all of the things like the resulting throw-in. Does the correct official administer this throw-in? Right? Does the center administer the throw-in in this situation? And the other officials slide around? Is that awkward? Is that correct? Etc. Yes, it is correct. We can also look at the habits of the calling official here, right? Which again, when we analyze game video, we're looking at all of the things. Right? So, I forgot to do something here. Right? You see that action there? Anticipating the pass, getting the open look by stepping down, right? Fantastic. If we can do this in our game, it shows we recognize what's occurring in the game. If we're officiating the players on the court in our primary coverage area, right? What do we have in our primary coverage area here as C? We've got one defender who's way off and a potential shooter, white 15, who's saying, hey, I'm open, give me the ball, right? The game moves forward, right? And we see that player move out to a three-point shot. We see the pass in flight. We step down. This is great position adjustment on this play, and a great play and a great clip all the way around. Thank you, Jacob, for submitting that clip. All right. Cool. All right. So for my live stream viewers, on play number 1, we're going to come back to that at the end of the show, and we'll review that, right? But it's a YouTube thing. That's the way the edited version is going to start out. Phil Haddad has intentional. Interesting. All right, Phil. So we have a white obviously not making a play on the basketball, but how did they get to that point? Right? What do we have here? In the end, we see white 15 is tripped, right? He trips and falls. This is not an intentional act of falling into the back of the legs, etc. It's an inadvertent action. I would not rule intentional on this play, especially since, we have... Okay, I'd listen to you make that case. That's not my reaction. And Mike, you are right. It is a great clip because there's a number of factors that come into play, right? And that's what we love when we look at. That's what we love when we look at video, is all of the things, right? The obvious stuff, like our first play, obvious stuff. Calling official, which official made the call, etc. Was it a foul? Was there a push from behind, etc. All of the things. But the nuances of clips that the clips offer are fantastic as well. David Backen in the house. It's been a while since we've seen you, David. Good to see you. Jared Wilson from Spokane. What's the weather like there, Jared? Are we rainy? I assume it's rainy. Are we sleepless? Oh, so Jacob thinks a possibility for intentional on this play. Well, so we have a foul that negates an opponent's obvious advantage, right? So we're definitely, that's on the radar. In this instance, or so we say, okay, did this player with two hands from behind push? Did this player grab a jersey, right? These are obvious instances where that's the case. A bear hug from behind, no play on the ball, etc. Or is it just a situation where players, get into this position inadvertently? And is the inadvertent act something that we need to set aside? Well, I don't care if it was inadvertent. They took away an obvious advantage on the play. Good morning, Gene. Good to see you. We've got Mark Asmussen, not even close to intentional. Mike Connors in the same boat. Don't see. It wasn't my first reaction. But I guess the fundamental question is, well, is the inadvertent nature of the contact, does that negate any possibility of intentional? Because they obviously affected an opponent's obvious advantage. I would say no. I would say this is a team control foul by rule. That's sort of like my takeaway. I, of course, have an aversion. I mean, I lean that way in identifying these plays because so many officials don't recognize these plays as team control fouls. But a good discussion, right? And we're gonna have a similar. So sometimes the game gets crazy with players on the floor, etc. We're gonna have one. Inadvertent contact. Gotcha. All All right, so Wayne's taking a position on this play. He's erring on the side of, all right, the player had an obvious advantage. They have been fouled. We're going to put them on the line if it was a bonus situation. We're erring on the side of, I'm not picking nits, whether the player had control or not, etc. On a play like this. And I can recognize that perspective. At the same time, we want to get plays right. And, again, if we apply a situation to end of game, tie game, this play occurs with 2.3 seconds left. We make a ruling on the play. If our ruling is inaccurate, we have affected the results of the game. We may get feedback. One of the things, of course, about high school basketball is the accountability level is relatively low. At the NBA, WNBA, D1, men's and women's, if crews make a mistake adjudicating a play, when they are setting aside a rule, let's say, they will be penalized, and they'll be penalized harshly, right? There's accountability. At the high school level, that accountability is relatively light. If we, no matter what we do in this situation, we're not going to be, in most instances, we're not going to have a call from an assigner. Why did you do this? You're going to, not get playoff games because of this, or I'm taking away your games next week, or something like this. There's no real level of accountability. And that's just a fact of life. That is a fact of life. Yeah, so one of the factors about team control and making judgments about whether there's been a change of possession, as more and more states adopt shot clocks, then these kind of plays, like let's say our defender here deflected the ball. There was no trip from behind, but they inadvertently lost the ball out of bounds here. It's going to be a backcourt throw in for White. What shows on the shot clock, right? Did the shot clock reset? Should the shot clock have reset? Making judgments about these plays will become much more prevalent about transition plays like this relative to shot clocks as more and more states adopt the shot clock. I think this was just ruled a common foul. There's no indication from the calling official, Jared, that a team control foul was put in the game. Phil Haddad says he felt that Blue had control of the ball. Okay. At what point, Phil, does that control happen? Right? That has to be our judgment. Do we have team control here? Does Blue have team control? They have deflected the ball. Do they have team control? How are we going to establish team control in this situation? The Blue player must be holding or dribbling the basketball. Dribbling the basketball is a player in control, pushing the ball, batting the ball to the floor to begin the dribble. Is that what happened on this play? Right? They attempted to control the ball, right? Had a hand under the ball, sort of batted it up in the air. Did they ever make an action pushing the ball to the floor after being in control? I would say no. Right? That is not dribbling the basketball. This player has not gained control in this instance. And, making these distinctions, again, we want to have accuracy in our calls and in our rulings. All right. Well, Mike, you're making a fundamental misconception there if the Blue coach knows the rules. Right. Throwing shade on coaches. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, awesome. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Hey, let me take a moment to thank our tremendous show supporters. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? You can always find a link down in the show notes below, and I'll put one up above. Fantastic. Let's move on to play number 3. All right. I like the relaxed demeanor by the lead, right? Because this is an obvious play, right? We don't have to get all amped up and excited and bouncing around and throwing our best punch, etc. on this play. So we have a relatively simple block charge play, but what are we looking at? Position of the crew, discipline of the crew. Me personally, I struggle with discipline when the season starts, right? We've got our lead in a relatively flat position here. Let's do this. Right. Let's do this. Right. Our lead is making a move here into the lane area. Right. No reason not to just stay here, make our call. Center official has the on-ball matchup here. Right, and we have a secondary defender here, so we, potentially complication coming in. Right, our center needs to make a judgment about whether there's any push from behind here. Right, doesn't appear so on this play. Legally established defender, right? Point of emphasis always in this situation, get a fist up, take a moment to process, right? We could potentially have a double whistle on a play like this. We do note that our center official, right, has a reaction whistle or, thinking about putting a whistle on the play, even though it's a secondary defender, should belong to the lead. And in the end, right, we designate a spot a little bit, right? And that leaves our crew a bit in limbo. If we designate a spot, right, so are we bringing the ball in here on the S, or are we bringing the ball in here on the T? And our crew needs to move, right? So indicating to our crew where we're bringing the throw in, etc. If we go back, let's see if we do a good job of designating the spot. I think there's a subtle one. When we leave our crew sort of guessing, then we don't look good as a crew here. Again, a very flat position by the lead. Right? Into the quicksand area. Legal defender. Charge without a raised fist. And then do we designate a spot? No. All right. I want to turn that off. All right. So my takeaways on this play, are just discipline aspect. Do we get a fist up prior to indicating what we have? And of course, we're an outside official. We have to know that leads will always go quick. They will have a tendency to do that. There's a lot of guidance that says, hey, get a fist up, right? It lets you process, etc. This is an obvious charge to me. But we may also have a whistle from outside for some unknown reason. So fist up before the foul, better position rather than wading into the lane to make the call. Designate the spot. It's not about you, ref. Designate the spot so your crew can do the right thing, right? It's really helpful in this instance, right? This part, and I guess in South Dakota, they are following the NFHS mechanic of when the lead makes a call, that official switches with the table side official. But are they going to be the C? Are they going to be the new lead? All these questions come into play. And our outside official, let the system work. We can always come late with a whistle here. No reason to have a whistle on contact by the center here, right? Recognize these aspects in your own game, right? So that you can have better discipline, hit all your marks, and make the game better. Yeah. Mike Williams in the house. We're going to see Mike next Friday as he joins us for 5 Play Friday Live. Excellent. Super excited. Super excited. Joseph, referring to the previous play, I would say if you can, but as a crew, we need to recognize. If I'm the lead on that previous play, I will tell you, hey, partner, that was a team control foul, right? And report it as such, just to help. Yeah, lead does not improve there, and there's, again, a lack of discipline on the play, I would say, Jared. I mean, either go or stay, one of the two. Yeah, work the system, Dave. Work the system. Yeah, Wayne points out our center makes no position adjustment, even though the look on the play closes. Yeah, our lead is stacked. Fortunately, this is not a close call. Phil, I'm going to fight you on that. I do not agree on the previous play, but I understand what you're saying. All right, so Chris is on this game. Let's see what he has to say. The takeaway we had at crew is the mechanic standpoint. We need to have that fist up. Yeah. Again, when we have obvious plays, we're analyzing our game video. There's obvious calls. We got the calls correct. Yay, we are awesome. We are happy. We are patting ourselves on the back. We're tremendous, right? But if we have breaks in our approach and our discipline, in our mechanics, in the things that we do, those breaks will come into bear at key moments of important games, end of the game situation, etc. So we need to identify those and improve those, right? In our next game, we could say every single call I make, I'm putting a fist up first. Every foul call, fist up first. If I'm lead, I want to be aware of double whistles. If I'm an outside official, be aware my lead may go quick because it's human nature, right? And analyze all of the things so that we can get better for our next game. That's what we got to say about that. Exactly, Chris. That's my takeaway as well, and it's good that we have... All right, so we may have had a push from behind on that play number 1 that we'll get back to a little bit later. Dave, and so again, another discipline point here is designating the spot, because we really leave our crew hanging. If we watch our crew, right, Chris comes in from trail, and he's assuming, we're making assumptions, right? We could see our calling official maybe reports and runs to the end line thinking that it's going to be we just don't want assumption on a play. We want to allow our crew to look crisp, etc., and designating spots effectively. Again, that slows us down as well, is the way to go. All right. We are 3 plays in. Let's take a look at play number 4. All right, a verticality play. Does our defender go from point A to point B? Right? There's certainly a subtle amount of movement, and they turn their body as well. Almost always that's going to elicit a whistle. Right? Right. We have to recognize the situation as well in this game. This is a collegiate game. We are 3.5 minutes into the game. So we are, we are at this point of the game. What are we doing? We're establishing how the game will be called, etc. If we are a member of the crew, we're cataloging plays whistles that have been put in the game and what we've determined to be verticality, etc. Tonight, we have a call by the lead on this. Right? So we have a question. Does this defender move from A to B? There is, I think, subtle movement from A to B. But the other thing the defender does is they turn their body and the contact is on the side. Our ball handler certainly is seeking out the contact. They are not trying to avoid this contact, etc. And so we have to look at plays if we feel that, oh, maybe this was not A to B, which I think it was. But if it's not A to B, was I fooled because did I make a decision based on the defender turning their body in this instance? But I think we have a call correct here. But a takeaway we would have is be aware of what whistles have been put in the play or put in the game. Early on in the game, we go out, we want to clean things up. We want to establish how we're going to officiate this game tonight, and being aware of the calls that have been put in the game. Right? We had hand checking at this end for this action. We want to make sure that if that's illegal contact at that end, that it's illegal contact at this end, etc. And so early in the game, when we have a verticality play like this, now we would expect if we have a similar verticality play at the other end that we do not pass on that call for the very same reason we had one on this. There's always a calibration we have to have as a crew, how we're officiating. Now, obviously, we don't want to match bad calls. He was straight up, took it in the chest. You put a whistle on the play. Are we identifying that as a play we want to match at the other end? No, it is not. Right? But in the gray areas around what kind of whistles we're putting in, what kind of contact we're ruling illegal tonight, so that we can be consistent as a crew. Right? And so anytime we see, anytime we see clips, it's always out of context. Right? Who knows what's happened in this game? We may have had like 5 verticality play calls in this game already. It's unlikely, but it's a possibility. And we always have to recognize that when we're analyzing play. Oh, this crew, got this wrong for this reason, etc. Right? It's because we see it out of context. But when we see a game that's early in the game, we are establishing as a crew what kind of whistles we're putting on the play. I'll be interested to see what you have to say about this play, Chris. Umar Sai in the house. Good to see you, Umar. The restricted area applies to players attempting to take a charge, Jim. So a player in this instance who is not attempting to take a charge, who's attempting to, it becomes airborne and is attempting to block a shot, play defense in the air, the arc would not come into play. Jared, you may not do that. That is the NFHS mechanic on that previous play. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, this seems like a really sharp crew on this game. There's a couple more clips from this game. And discipline, right? It's like we're gonna live and die with the lead here. They've got the whole thing. Mike, he's legal due to not being an arc play, but do we have A to B? Yeah, Jared, the RAs are men's and women's and the old women's, right? The women used to have a smaller arc. But now in NCAA, both share the same size arc and the same three-point line. But we see situations like this where there's an old line for the three-point line and there's an old line, assuming this is this year, and there's an old line for the women's. Yeah, I like the call every time I see it. The fact that there's some A to B movement and it's hip contact, yeah. Tony Dahl in the house. He's a Buckeye. Yeah. Okay. Mike Myers says the defensive player was moving forward, right? Okay. All right, Brian is clairvoyant. We haven't gotten to play number 4, have we? Or is this play number 4? I thought we were on play number 3. Okay. Has it travel first? I got you, Brian. I could see you make that case. Mike's got a foul. All right. I think our chat is getting a little disconnected. We're talking about previous plays. Was that play? Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Was that? Let me know in the chat. Was that play? My transition game has been excellent. The timing of the transitions has been really good. Oh, I wouldn't want to blow it now. Oh, I know what I can do. That was play number 4. Awesome. All right. Brian, you saved me. I would have done it wrong. All right, let's take... All right, we're 4 plays in. Let's take a look at play number 5. All right. Right. So when the ball gets loose and in rebounding situations, we've got players competing for the basketball. We're going to have a lot of frenetic energy in the game, and we need to be smart about the decisions we make in these situations. This is a great clip to look at a number of things. So let's do that. Let's look at all of the things on this play. As when play starts, right, we got a ball handler, legal, defender, right? The ball gets deflected from behind on this play. What does our ball handler do? They fling their arms up in the air like, oh, that's got to be a whistle. It's a fool the ref situation, right? There's no foul on this play, but they are giving us the embellishment, etc. Just have to be aware. So what are we going to do? We're 10 minutes into this game, right? What do we say? That player is a fool the ref player. That player is an embellisher. Let's catalog. We may know that already at this point of a game. Let's catalog that and be smart about whether we could trust them in these situations as well. And let's move on. Ball gets loose. Diving player. Player on top, but not really. They're more in a push-up position, a crawl position. 23 comes in with an arm around the torso, etc. Are these fouls? No, they're not, right? We got players competing for the ball in this situation. Patience. See what we have. Our calling official makes we've got the hand up, which is great discipline, held ball situation, right? And what we also have, right? We see our new center on the play, right? We were anticipating a rotation as center here, so we're in a relatively low position. Our center may have been as well, as sort of taking off on the play. Got a held ball ruling. Does White, have a backcourt violation? No. Right? We are official opposite the table, right? Sort of makes a cardinal sin here, the turn around and look, right? We've got an official looking right at the table. Trust them. They're coming up held like this. They'll be able to see which way the arrow's going. We don't need to turn away from players in that situation. Where are we going to throw the ball in? Obviously, this was in the back court. We're going the other way. This would be a backcourt throw-in. The trail would handle the throw-in. And that's going to let us know how we're going to how move as a crew. We've got players up on the bench reacting to a play that their teammate made. This is illegal activity. It's not a thing, right? At the end of this play, we would expect everybody on the bench to sit down. But these are moments in the game as well where things get crazy. And sometimes you could have sequences. You have a play like this, but the ball gets loose. We go the other way. There's a play at the basket. Again, it gets loose, etc. Right? And we just have to keep measured and keep control of and recognizing what's going on in these situations. So a good clip on that front. There. I like it. I like it. Randy Chicagoland comes in late with the help call. Thank you. Well, we're going to discuss one, Mike. Yet. Excellent. Yes. All right, so Chris says one of his takeaways is this: did the player dive on? Let's go back here. Does White come in and dive on a player who's attempting to get the ball here? And that's sort of one of the key takeaways on a play like this is, did we have that foul? Let's take a look. Right, White 4 is going for the ball, sort of has his legs taken out. Right here, as he dove on, you see how he's kind of in a crawl position or a push-up position. He had not, body surfed on top of the back of the player on the floor. He's actually trying to avoid and looking for the ball in that situation. I'm going to err myself in this situation as not a foul, right? We want to call the obvious here. He really maintains weight on his hands here. He's trying to avoid that. And the grab by 23 Blue here is just not a thing as well. Yeah, like it. A well-maintained scrum. Huh. I'm not telling you that, Lauren. I am not telling you that. But I mean, we have a player on the floor near the division line. Are they holding the ball? Do we have team control? Then they put their elbow on the division line, etc. It's like, what do we have on this play? We have a held ball situation on this play. I'm with you, Randy. I'm with you. Right, yellow coach on the floor. Not a lot of room on that sideline. Maybe something that we address. certainly the ball is dead in this instance. So these are factors as well. I do not have one, Mike. I don't have a backcourt on this play. Even if White ends up holding the basketball here, which I don't think they are, and then they put an elbow on this, that's not the thing. That's not the thing. Right? In NCAA men's, of course, the rules change when the ball is deflected. Unlike high school, when the ball is deflected, the offensive team can be the last to touch and the first to touch if it deflects off their body, etc. I do not know the particulars of NCAA men's rules, so I don't want to get myself into trouble. But a player is not, even after the ball has been deflected, allowed to hold the ball and then go into the backcourt. But I don't see this as a backcourt play. I can see that. Well, so Dave says, well, isn't that illegal contact on the initial drive, right? On the initial action? We could take a look at that. I do not think so. We have a legal defender, right? They are legal at this point. White runs into them, displaces them slightly, right? And then Blue puts an arm up. But so even if you had contact by Blue 24 at this point, the ball's out, right? The ball is out. Is that illegal contact on a ball handler dribbler at that point, or is it incidental contact on players away from the play? These are the things that we have to judge. So much work. I don't understand that comment. Has anybody messed up on any plays? I don't know. Okay. All right. Wayne says he has a foul on White 4 here for the dive on. I would disagree. I do not. Even though they are atop the player, I don't think we had illegal contact there. That's what I'm going with. Discussion of NCAA men's rules. I don't know about all that stuff. All right, now let me just take a moment here. Look at this graphic my tech team has produced. We got the little gradient moving in the background. It's like, yeah, elite production quality from my tech team. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate them. All right. So we've done 5. So now we want to go back to play number 1. That's what we want to do. Let's go here. Let's go here. No. Go here. All right, let's take a look now at what we had on play number 1. Hopefully you've put your ruling in the comments. Let's go back. Let's take a look at play number 1. Let's go back and take a look at play number 1. All right. There's a lot of things going on this play. So first of all, the scoreboard up top says 42-40 in the 4th period. So we got late in the game. We got a block charge call. This is a play where I'd say who is officiating whom on this play as a crew. What are we doing on this play? Dylan McLean submitted this play. Thank you, Dylan, for that. We have a drive. Who is officiating that primary defender on this play? Right? When we go back to the beginning. All right, so center has picked up that action. Center has the primary defender on this play. Is there a push in the back? Right, so that's the question. Video quality here is not superb. Secondary defender play comes from the center's primary. We would expect the lead to have a whistle on this play. Our lead makes no indication of having anything on this play. That's a surprise. Player control foul is ruled. We report. We have a hand up. I think we're indicating a fifth foul on the player. Invariably, it's going to be the best player on white in this situation. Don't know for sure. She goes to the bench. What do you have on this play? Right? Secondary defender is clearly legal. They stepped into the path. They have established legal guarding position. Is not an airborne player. Torso contact, right? They put their arms up to protect themselves. Legal actions. We seem to have call correct. We've got a coach who cannot believe it. So, in the absence of a push in the back here, right, which is not obvious from this play, we seem to have call correct. Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, what's going on? Jared Wilson brings up Chris Rastater. If you've ever dealt with Chris, he is the most awesome dude. He really is. He's come to several camps that I've been to here in the Bay Area, and he's tremendous. He's tremendous. And you want to mimic the demeanor of an official on the court. That's your guy. That's your guy. Be Chris on the court. All right. So where are we? Let's see. Yeah, the fact that the lead has nothing on this play is a bit mind-boggling. I mean, we obviously have a play that needs a whistle. Maybe felt it came from the center's primary. We have to recognize, though, what our partners are officiating on this play. Do we expect our center to officiate both the push from behind and the secondary defender coming in? Is that how we pregame this play? And like Chris says, there's a lot of runway on this play. This player starts going to the basket right here, right? We know we have a lot of time to anticipate what may happen on this play and evaluate the legality of defenders. Lead says, Chris says, work the system. We have a cadence whistle on this play. Did we have a cadence whistle? Let's take a look. If we transfer our eyes here, do we miss a push in the back potentially? Yeah, looks like primary cadence to me on this play. Yeah, that's primary cadence by the center. Something to look at. We've got player control from the great state of Michigan. Does the coach leave his coaching box to express displeasure? Right? Emotional game, etc. Is this something that rises to the level of something? The actions by the coach? Right? He thinks he's got something else, right? So we also have the situation, of course, where our coaching box is usually defined by where the bench is. In this instance, we've got so many chairs that the chairs extend beyond the 28-foot line. So sometimes you get that in high school gyms where there's no where the bench is the last seat on the stands, right? And there's no clear delineation, and we've got players sitting beyond. Are players allowed to sit? Are players allowed to sit beyond the 28-foot mark here? Yes, they are. Can the bench extend? Yes. Can the coaching area for the coach extend? No. I don't think, though, that this rises to the level. Maybe it's something we want to address. The displeasure at the call is like, oh, it's not like, he's not wave off. If we had that kind of action here, he could be in the box and doing that. It's more like, you got to be kidding me. That's my best player. Is that true, Mike? Is that true? Huh. It's a mystery. Mike either has a comment about the lead or about the quality of the show. Jacob says, Leeds just let them play, baby. I think we may have a touch of humor there. Mike, are we allowed by rule to remove those seats after the game administration has established where the bench is? You could say that's proactive officiating. You could do that, or before the game gets started, et cetera. You could ask, because a lot of times, right? The gym's getting set up, right? It's like, team manager, put the chairs out, right? They have to get them out of the closet and roll the thing out. Do they put them down in a very precise fashion? No. They put them down willy-nilly. And so we may have an opportunity before the game to say, hey, let's get this right. Can you do me a favor and move those chairs down so that our last chair is right at the 28-foot mark? But if in a situation where that is not the case, right, the bench area is established by somebody other than us, but it does not affect the ability of the coach to where they can stand and coach, have the privilege to stand and coach from. Yep. And we have to be aware that when coaches have an emotional response, right, to a call, and recognize, is that something that needs to be penalized? Have they crossed a line, etc.? All right, so we've reviewed play number 1. We've gone through 5 plays, so we are done for the... What? Oh, bonus play? All right, let's go. I did that wrong. Oh, so good. I want to go here. Let's take a look at that bonus play. All right. Excellent. So we have a free throw scenario. Three-person officiating, right? And ultimately a call by the trail in this situation. Isn't this the center's call, right? This is a great example of a number of things, right? First of all, on free throws, we are always subject to disconnecting from the game potentially, either mentally, etc. This crew seems really connected. As a trail on free throws, we want to allow our other two officials to officiate the action. We have a big picture view as the trail, but we have to stay connected, right? Not just like you guys take care of everything, etc. Right? So on this play, we have a couple of things. First of all, we have a box out, which forces a opponent of the thrower across the free throw line. Isn't that a violation? And then subsequently a displacement foul on the shooter on the rebounding action, right? No call from the center. Trail comes in with a whistle. It seems we're in a bonus situation. We're identifying our shooter, and we are going the other way. All the officials seem to be clued into that, which is great game awareness that we have a situation that's going to lead to bonus free throws, right? I think we have an obvious foul here, push from behind, possession consequence, etc. The center ultimately comes in late with a raised fist, but not on the initial contact. So our trail says, hey, we got to get that, puts a whistle on the play. We've identified our shooter. Don't know if we're telling the center on this play to go ahead and take the call, etc. Good example of crew officiating and awareness on the play. The trail staying connected with the game and not disconnecting. I think the center ultimately would have had this foul on the play, but all good. Right. Also, it would be great to say, okay, how are we going to administer the subsequent free throws? Is our lead on this end going to administer them at the far end, etc.? That's just picking nits. The takeaway on this play for me is stay connected as trail. Stay connected. Don't disconnect. Right. We see we're at the 28-foot line. So many officials on free throw situations in three-person are drifting, 38-foot line, etc., becoming disconnected, taking me time. Yeah, I like it. I like it. A good reminder to stay connected in free throw situations. Tony Dahl says, ignoring the box out into the semicircle. So that's a great, so is this a free throw violation, right? It's not something we normally think of. Well, the player violated. They clearly violated, but they were caused to violate, right? Interesting. I would not rule a violation on this play. Am I justified in that? I don't know. I don't know. Mike has the obvious. This is a foul on our free throw shooter. I do like this these Wolfpack graphics up top here. Those are pretty fantastic. Huh. C has a fist up eventually, right? They, of course, we also have to recognize the center in this situation. What is the center responsible for? If you are a trail, you have to be aware of the responsibilities your center has on this play, and there's a lot. So let's review, shall we? Let's do that and say the center is responsible about whether our free throw shooter violates. First off, they are responsible for ensuring that the shooter attempts their shot within 10 seconds, having a visual count, etc. We're in great position. We are in the recommended high school position for a free throw in this situation. It seems a little close, but he's at the volleyball line, right? And then, in addition, they are responsible for players in marked lane spaces. They are responsible for this player, and this player. Do these players violate? They are responsible for all of that action. They are responsible to ensure that the try contacts the ring, right? And it's difficult to do all of those things. So if the center does not recognize that this player violates, that's not a shocker, right? Should they stay with the shooter? I would say yes, actually, right? And they do. They look away as blue enters, crosses, etc. But you got a lot going on. You're thinking, I have to judge whether the ball contacts the ring. As trail, understand, especially an air ball that misses on this side of the ring, it's going to be really hard for the center. Really hard for the center. So stay connected to the game. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm doing all the things here. Man. Agreed, because the try was released. Lead is connected. He knows we have a bonus. He knows we're going the other end. Identify the shooter. Oh, it's about time, Thomas. It's about time. All right. Chris says, staying connected as a crew, always a point of emphasis in our pregame. Ultimately, yeah, perfect. Why did I know that was the case, Chris? Why did I know? Right? We want to support the system. We want to support our crew. We have an obvious foul. I'm the trail. No whistle. Boom. Right? Cadence. The center also has a cadence because, again, they have a lot in their lap on this play. Right? But we want to support the system. You're going to take the call. You've got it, etc. We're going to fill in as a crew, etc. Work in the system, support your crew. Love it. Love it. I like it. I like the thinking. Lost Lake says, let's make sure in this instance we are aware of whether the clock ran or not and whether the clock should have run. Did this foul occur before the clock should have started? You could make a case if you had the ability to go to the monitor at the end of a close NBA game or something like that. Let's take a look. When should the clock properly start? Right here. Did the foul occur before that or at the same moment, etc.? I wouldn't pick nits here and say the clock definitely should not have started. And I don't have definitive awareness of whether there was contact that should have legally started the clock before the foul as well. But that's Lost Lake, that is great awareness. These are the things that we have to know as a crew. Did the clock start properly? Did the clock stop properly, etc.? In the middle of the game, is it a big deal? You know, a 1 second ran off the clock here. It shouldn't have, if that was the case. Not a big deal. At the end of the game, when we're talking about tenths, those are the things that we want to be thinking about. And those are the things that wear us out, right? We work a ball game. We have to make a lot of decisions, be aware of a lot of minutia clocks starting and stopping, etc. Small little things throughout the game, decision making, plays that we've put in the game, what we've established as how the game is going to be officiated tonight can be mentally exhausting, right? We have to fight through that because those are the things that we need to do to officiate the game properly. Whew, I like that. I like that. Mike's sees, whoops. Do we have a violation on this play? Let's take a look. By White 40, did White 40 go early? I would say no. I'm not that good. I am not that good. No way can I make that judgment. Oh, excellent. I love it. Tony Dahl says shot clock is off. Maybe he knew he needed a foul. That is great awareness. I did not see that. Right? When we look at our game video, when we look at the clips, etc., we have to deduce things. And that's a great get. If the shot clock is off, looks like we have 4 seconds remaining in the game. I did not pick up on that. That is critical, and that's why maybe our crew is really super aware of bonus, etc. Good catch. Yeah, Jacob. So, when I say clock, because in the fourth quarter for me to care, that's great. But the only way you get to being aware in the fourth period is by having that built into your game, that discipline and that awareness built into your game. Why are we going to know that the clock ran, right? So in this situation, we've got 4.0 seconds before the free throw starts. The clock does run. 7/10 or 8/10 run off, right? But the only way we're going to get to any ability to make those decisions in the fourth period is by having that discipline built into our game. Lance says first half. Again, I personally did not make these deductions. Huh. Excellent. Excellent. I say A pluses all the way around. So it's not a end of game situation, but it's the end of the second period, right? And we want to be smart here because what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the other end. They're going to attempt free throws, and then the other team's going to have potentially 4 seconds to come down and score at this end, right? Tenths of a second matter. Having that discipline, building that into our game. All right. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, let's take a look at another bonus play. Thanks, Chris. Uh-oh. I've screwed that play up. Let's take a look at another bonus play. All right, traveling violation ruled in transition by the C. Do we have a call correct? What are the habits and fundamentals of the officials on this play? Ball handler. Does she establish a left foot pivot foot on this play? Is she holding the basketball when she has her left foot on the floor? These are the things inquiring minds want to know. I do not see an obvious travel on this play, but let's go back. Let's go back. Let's look at all the things, because that's what we like to do. Whoa, well-designated spot there. Let's go here, right? So as center, the ball is in your lap. You're stuck at the sideline, etc. And then the play goes, right? And the play is ahead of us, right? In this instance, you've got to get on your horse. You've got to go. Do we have a traveling violation on this play? I do not see it. I do not see it. I'm not picking nits here. I have this player. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look. Dribbling. Has a left foot on the floor. I don't see her holding the ball until after. That's what I see. One thing we could look at on this play, again, is habits and fundamentals, right? So we're beaten as center. We know we've got to go, right? In this instance, trail, trail's going to offer no help on anything here until they can get to the front court. But we do see our lead take a really close down, run to the end line in a close down position. I don't know that we end up in the best position to officiate a subsequent play here by doing that. Often in transition, we want to go to this close down position in three-person if we don't have a play at the basket. I would say we want a better position than that as lead, maybe to the middle of the cheerleaders there. But traveling is the ruling on the play. Oh, okay. So we also had a start of a rotation here. Trail does lead, now new trail, does a great job of recognizing I have not completed my rotation. I am not going to force that issue, etc. Perfect. All right. Chris says call incorrect, right? But again, we're in a vacuum, right? When we're looking at plays here and we say that's not a travel, right? We're in a vacuum. Maybe we've had funny looking plays called at the other end. I don't know. It's awkward, and there's a case to be made that no, when she had her left foot, she grabbed the ball, she was holding it, and then she did the Euro step action after that, and that is a traveling violation. You could make that case. I don't see that on this play. But the other thing I would take away, Chris, on this is recognizing, am I in the best position to officiate this play? Just because I'm not in the best position because of circumstances led me there, right? And I was doing everything I should at this point and this point and this point. The play happens and we're out of position. We're not in a great position. Where would we want to be on this play? We want to be, 28-foot line at this point, right? That's where we'd want to be. That's not where we are. If a call has to be made, we're going to make it with whatever information we have available to us. But does this play require a whistle in this instance where we're not in great position? That's what I would say. And again, for me, early in the season, discipline, obviously throughout the season, but discipline. And I find that, early in the season, I'm lacking in that, and that gives me things to work on as the season progresses. I would describe this as that situation where we've put a whistle in the game when we did not have potentially the best view on the play, right? We reacted to a play because. That's what I'd say. That's me. That's me. She was working on her Euro. I don't think we have a show. I don't think our lead's in position to make that call. Even though they are the lead and they actually do a good job of getting down to the end line. Good hustle by the lead, recognizing. But as a lead in this situation, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? In transition, new lead, play going to the basket. Are we looking at the ball handler or are we looking at the defender? The defender is what's going to determine what we officiate on this play. I think that's the point of the clip, Chris. John says, look like a drag. As a partner, what's your conversation with your partner after calling this? If you are the lead, I'd say, look legal to me, partner. But the other thing, of course, is we can recognize when our partners have put a whistle on a play that looked funny, right? Have they committed a crime? We need to be aware of that as a crew, right? You may say from my angle, I saw her bobbling the ball. She didn't travel. Not on this play, but on another play. I didn't have her holding the ball until, etc. But we always understand when maybe partners on our crew have put a whistle on a play and have made a mistake in judgment, had a lapse in discipline, etc. I certainly hope that all my partners recognize when I've had a lapse in discipline. Sometimes we put a primary whistle on a secondary cadence play, right? Or is that something we need to talk about? Usually the calling official is going to go, my bad, right? On the court, right? We're recognizing these things on the court. Matt likes the call, getting down to the toes. Yeah, it's a great play to catalog, Jared. I agree. All right. Hard to tell if there's a foul. The defender obviously has their hands down around waist level and takes some action like this. Did they put a hand on the ball? Did they illegally contact? Hard to tell. Peggy in the chat. Good to see you, Peggy. I don't recall seeing you in the past. I agree with you. It wasn't enough to be a travel. And where are we gonna err in this situation, right? The question is, if it was a travel, it's because she picked up the ball with her left foot as a pivot. But was she holding the ball at that point, or was she in the process of holding the ball? She's definitely holding the ball in the air, and then steps 1, 2. But I agree with you, it was not enough for a travel. And I think our calling official agrees as well. But what can we take away, right? What can we take away? Those are the keys. If I'm in this transition, it's got to be obvious. It's an obvious travel for me to put a whistle when I'm out of position, right? When let's say not out of position, I'm in less than ideal position. I'm not where I want to be. Sometimes we can, that's what I'm going to say about that. And I think we are now out of plays. No, that's not the right one. There. Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody joining today. Some things went really well. Some things, yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. And my live stream viewers, of course, they see all the thing. They see all the sausage being made, right? But my transition game is strong. It's strong. I love it. I love it. Thanks, Jim. Good to see you today. I appreciate you joining. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun as well. Where are we? Where are we? How come I can't see how long the stream is? Where are we at? 90 minutes. 90 minutes, I think, is a good length. Good length. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Vegan? Dave says his philosophy in calling fouls and violations is to try and make sure they are clear and obvious. Yeah. Yeah. Word to the wise, right? If we go from there, right, and say that is obvious, right? That's our starting point. We're going to go outside of that. Why would we put a whistle on something that was not either wasn't obvious or wasn't obvious from where I was? But our brain works against us. It says, wait a minute, something funny. I think I can't, did I miss something, etc.? And we have that doubt come in. One of the things we have to develop as basketball officials is being comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? If maybe there's no call on a play and there's an uproar. The gym says, oh my God, how did you miss that? Right? And we have to accept that and say, that did not rise to the level of a foul or a violation. For me, it was not obvious. I understand why everybody thinks that looked funny and a call needed to be made, but it was not illegal. It was not obviously illegal, and I'm not going to put a whistle on the play. And we have to be able to deal with the negative energy that comes with that and embrace it and move forward and keep officiating the game. So, like it. Chris, thanks for the clips. Thanks for the clips. So many positive things to learn from them. I really appreciate you. Humble, Texas makes an appearance late in the show. How are you, Gary? Good to see you. All right. SABNBA. SABN. Basketball official. No, Basketball Association. Okay. Yeah, hit like. No. Kamali Rowan. All right, awesome. All right. No. We have not. The show has not risen, Zooch, to the level of super excited. We have not been super excited at any point during the show today. I am something. People say I'm something. Yeah. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap it. I hope everybody has great games this weekend. Some of us have games at 2 venues on Saturday. That is too much for me, but we're going to make it happen. And in the end, we'll see everybody next week for Basketball Rules Expert and 5 Play Friday. Thanks, everybody.